From the Convergence Studio in the School of Communication, this is Loyola News Chicago.
Hello and welcome to Loyola News Chicago. I'm Marissa Heibum.
And I'm Nathan Babinchuk. Here's the news for today. The holidays are upon us, and delays, traffic, and the new TSA policies are on travelers' minds. New screening procedures are in place at major airports, including those in Chicago, and passengers are now required to go through a 10-second full body scan. Some are planning to boycott the policy and instead opt for a full-body pat-down, an alternative that could take significantly longer. Catherine Murphy went out to see how students are preparing for the holiday travel season.
With Thanksgiving 2 days away, Loyola students are preparing to travel home for the holiday. We talked to a few students who voiced their concerns about traffic and the new TSA policy.
I've never driven back, but I am anticipating a little traffic, but I don't think it'll be that bad, but we'll see.
I think I'm just going to get there a little bit earlier this time, and maybe plan ahead, get there early, not pack as much stuff, wear light clothes, easily accessible to take off.
I have to leave class a little bit earlier, so hopefully that quiz is before 6 o'clock, because otherwise I'm going to be mad.
Get the scan, just to make it easier for everyone else. I have nothing to hide.
In addition to traffic and the new TSA policies, students should take into consideration weather when making travel plans. We have record highs today and snow expected later this week. Catherine Murphy, Loyola News Chicago, back to you guys in the studio.
If you're not headed home for Thanksgiving, don't count on using 8Ride. Both 8Ride and the shuttle service will be stopped over Thanksgiving break. Wednesday through Friday, both services are stopped. The shuttle resumes on Saturday, but you'll have to wait until Sunday for 8Ride. However, the shuttle from the Water Tower campus to the train stations will still run at 9 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday.
Loyola's law students will work with Cook County in dealing with foreclosures. The students will assist Sheriff Tom Dart by checking more than 2,000 mortgage foreclosure eviction notices. Dart says they will check for potential fraud among the eviction notices, and he also says that a proper investigation will make sure people are given the rights they deserve before their homes are taken away. 43,000 eviction notices were ordered in Cook County this past year. Underage drinking at Loyola won't just get you a fine anymore, it could get you a letter home. This year, Loyola has a new drinking policy for drinking violations. On a student's second alcohol violation, Loyola will send a letter home notifying their parents. This is on top of the fines that they would already get for the violation. Parents are also being notified anytime a student is sent to the hospital for drinking too much. For more details and stories from students who've gotten a letter home, check out the Phoenix.
Finding a good study space on campus is a difficult but important task for students. We looked at some study spaces around campus to see just how good they are.
A lot of things go into what makes a study space great, but two things stand out: how loud the space is and whether or not you can get on the internet.
For me, I need somewhere quiet usually where I can just focus, lock in on the work. Usually the library works well. They've got some side rooms where you can just close yourself off. Somewhere that doesn't have much distractions.
It depends when I'm studying now. If I have to do something on the computer, yeah, the whole Wi-Fi thing is important. So like at my apartment, I have internet, so there. If I'm here on campus, I don't travel with my computer. I'll go to the labs downstairs, and it's usually pretty quiet down there. And if not, you can always put on headphones to kind of distract yourself and cancel out some of the noise.
Wi-Fi speeds on Loyola's network are blazingly fast all over campus, when you have a signal, at least. Most places have a good signal, but the stacks in the Cudahy Library are kind of a dead spot. Depending on your computer, you might not get a Wi-Fi signal at all.
If you want our advice, the third floor of the IC or the Law Library are the best choices for studying on campus. They have the best balance of quiet and strong internet signal. If Facebook is too much of a distraction, though, try the Cudahy stacks. You wouldn't be able to play Farmville if you tried.
The basketball season is rolling again, and Loyola's teams are starting off on a high note. The women are 2-1, and the men's team is 5-0 on the season. That puts the men on top of the Horizon League standings, but the Ramblers haven't played any conference games yet.
Coming up, how the CTA is taking a cue from New York.
And Chicago decorates for the holidays. Find out how the holiday spirit is touching Loyola students.
This financial advisor is being accused accused of committing one of the largest investment frauds in the history of the United States.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I've done nothing. Uh-oh. Ooh, okay, I stole a cheeseburger once. On my dog.
Welcome back. After the eruption of Mount Merapi in Indonesia earlier this month, the Loyola community is reaching out to help. In order to raise money to help the people of Indonesia, Loyola is sponsoring Art for Volcano Eruption and selling unique art in Baumhart Hall this week. The money made will be donated to a volcano relief fund to help Indonesia recover from this natural disaster.
One of the biggest challenges facing international students is whether they can work in the United States once their student visas expire. The Chicago Tribune reports most of these students are unable to find a job in the current job market. Employers often don't want to hire a non-citizen because the U.S. citizenship process costs companies thousands of dollars. For some companies, the paperwork and costs aren't worth the effort.
Chicago is all lit up for the holidays after this weekend's Magnificent Mile Lights Festival. Hundreds of thousands of people filled downtown Chicago for the annual festival to see Michigan Avenue glowing with more than 1 million lights on 200 trees, making for a truly magnificent mile. The festival also featured a parade of colorful floats, familiar Disney characters, and giant balloons. Michigan Avenue retailers extended shopping hours to kick off the holiday season for shopping. Many Loyola students were able to enjoy the Lights Festival and get in the holiday spirit just in time for the Thanksgiving break.
I'm just going home to the suburbs, see my family and my house, good old traditions, pumpkin pie, all that.
As far as Black Friday goes, not too sure about this year. Last year I found myself in front of Circuit City at 3 in the morning, or maybe it was the year before, but it was very cold and very uncomfortable and quite unnecessary.
If you happen to miss the Magnificent Mile Lights Festival, there are still plenty of holiday-themed activities to partake in after Thanksgiving break, including ice skating at the McCormick Tribune Ice Rink in Millennium Park.
The CTA begins testing new rail cars on the Brown Line this week. The new cars will have New York-style aisle-facing seats to allow for more room for passengers, strollers, and bikes. They even have security cameras and electronic L-system maps. The orange, blue, green, and red lines have already tested the new cars, and if all goes well, the CTA plans to replace the old cars. Also this week, L riders should watch for the holiday train. It will take a turn on all CTA rail lines through December 17th. The train includes decorated passenger cars and an open-air flat car with Santa and his reindeer.
Are you going to take a ride on the holiday train?
You know, I've never been able to find it. I've looked a little bit while I've been here, but I've never seen it.
I haven't either. That's our news for today. Thank you for watching.
For all of us at Loyola News Chicago, have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week.